my fellow show with no namers? Can I get an amen? Can I get a hallelujah? Yeah, it's show with no name time. Get ready for liftoff. Countdown with me. Come on. 5, 4,
3.
You know the rest.
2, 1.
Come on.
0. Ignition.
And we're off.
Liftoff.
Woo-hoo!
30 minutes after the hour.
Hold on tight, folks. It's going to be an exciting adventure today. Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelts. Fasten your seatbelts. And hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride. For the ride. For the ride. The show with no. It's show with no name time. Where? On Vaughn Radio. Right. It's a show with no name. Come on. Let's go. There's a nice round of applause for our show with no namers who join us every day, every week, every month. And that's awesome. I thank you on behalf of all of us. En nombre de todos. Jimena, Rob, Andy, Kyle, Fitz. Thank you for being the best students a teacher could ever ask for. And I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. ¿Qué? ¿Soplando humo por tu culo? No, it means haciéndote la pelota. There's our first totally native expression today. To blow smoke not off, up. To blow smoke up someone's ass is a obviously vulgar way to say to kiss up, to suck up, to be a brown noser. In a classroom, it would be the teacher's pet. What we don't say is the ball, la pelota. Well, that's how you say it in Spanish, right? No seas pelota. We would never say in English, don't be a ball. These little intricacies, these quirks of the language. Quirks. Rarezas. Folks, welcome aboard. It's the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. And just a quick reminder before we get started, we've got every kind of course under the sun. And where can you get information on that? ¿Quieres estar al tanto de todas nuestras promociones en la Vaughan Esfera? Well, now you can be in the loop. Puedes estar al tanto. Puedes enterarte de ofertas, novedades y eventos. Y mucho más. Puedes encontrar todo eso en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Eso es, en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Ahí tendrás toda la información de última hora. Guárdalo como favorito. grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. And stay in the loop. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Do you know about Vaughn groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831, or you can go to our website, grupovaughn.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. Vaughn groups, urban camps, weekend camps. You've got a little bit of everything under the sun. All you have to do is go to grupovaughn.com/cursos destacados. Also, if you're looking for materials, you can go to vaughntienda.com or come stop by the book fair. We will be at the book fair at stand, write this down, 346 346. We'll be there up until the 16th of June. That's June 16th. I will be there personally on June 15th, el 15, June 15th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Again, it's stand 346. Luego siempre hay preguntas. We'll be there signing books. I'm not the only one who's going. I know Dave Boys will be there this coming weekend as well. And I'm sure many other people. I believe Richard Vaughn goes every weekend. All you have to do is follow us on social media because I think they've shared the schedule. So you should have everybody's schedule there, folks. And today in our pop quiz, we are going to look at something from Conversaciones en Inglés. Now, this is a part, one part of a trilogy, if you will, because you've got logically Conversaciones en Inglés 1, 2, and 3. And that's beginner, intermediate, and advanced. What do I recommend? Get them all. It's worth it. They're worth their weight in gold. ¿Tenéis una expresión parecida? Valen su peso en oro. They're worth their weight in gold. So these are conversaciones, totally native conversations in English where the team highlights, they highlight as destacar, resaltar, key vocabulary, idiomatic expressions, grammar, common mistakes. And then at the end of each section, there are a series of questions that you have to answer just to make sure you really got it down pat. So the book is called, or the books, I should say, Conversaciones en Inglés. You've got 1, 2, and 3. Julia Novitsky, she's on the cover of the first one. I'm on the cover of the second one, and Jimena from Test Your English is on the cover of the third one. And Richard's on the cover with all of us. But it's not just a cover. You don't want to judge a book by its cover, because then if you did, you would buy it. I mean, Julia, really? She's, amazing. One of our best teachers we've ever had over here, Julia. Jimena, I don't have to tell you because you can listen to her every day right after this program. But what was the name of her show again? Jimena will test your English. Yes, she'll test your English. Jimena will test your English with Nacho. That's right. Test Your English is on Vaughn Radio every day at 12:30 with Jimena and Nacho. Don't miss it. Test Your English with Jimena and Nacho right after this show. All right. Well, here's your pop quiz. As always, pay attention. And I'm going to play some audio from Conversaciones en Inglés. Each book has over 3 hours of audio. The books are just under $15 a piece. No, por unidad. Now, remember, at the book fair, you'll get a 10% discount. So instead of let's round it up. Vamos a decir que son 15. You'll get $1.50, €1.50 off. Y toma, mira, ya te puedes tomar algo. So you've got 3 hours of audio, and we're going to listen to some of it today in our pop quiz. So everybody pay attention, and afterwards I'll have a challenge for you.
Hey, Leo, what are you looking at?
Penny and Gareth have just emailed me a photo of their new baby.
Oh, wow, let me see. I bet he looks beautiful.
No, he looks like all babies when they're born, a hideous alien creature.
Leo, how can you say that? All babies are gorgeous.
That's rubbish. Babies are cute once they're a few months old, but all newborn babies are ugly, and that's a fact. Look at his face. It looks like a deflated football.
You wouldn't say that if it was your baby, would you?
Probably not, but I wouldn't expect other people to say how beautiful my child was.
He looks a lot like Gareth, doesn't he? I think he has his father's eyes.
Gareth isn't cross-eyed.
The baby's not cross-eyed. Don't you know that newborn babies have trouble focusing on things for the first few weeks?
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that. So that's why his eyes are looking in different directions?
Well, what would you expect? They've been inside their mother's body for 9 months. You're not exactly the paternal type, are you? Oh, look, he has his mother's nose.
Well, let's hope he doesn't inherit her personality as well.
Leo, stop being so cruel.
Oh, you know me. I'm only joking.
Don't you think he looks like his father?
Nope. The baby's much more attractive than that.
Hey, Carlos, what are you doing here? I thought you and your family had gone to live in Bogacaibo.
Yeah, well, we got back here a couple of weeks ago.
But are you going to go back, or are you here for good?
No, it didn't work out. None of us could get used to life out there, so we decided it would be best if we came back.
But what happened?
Well, things got off to a bad start when our house got burgled in the first week, and then everything just got worse and worse.
Geez, I'm sorry to hear that.
The kids couldn't get used to the new school, and Tommy was getting into trouble all the time with the teachers. He really missed his friends here.
How does your wife feel about all this? Wasn't it because of her that you went there in the first place?
Well, she wanted to be with her family again, but she said things had changed an incredible amount since she'd lived there as a child. She missed Spain as well.
And what about you? What's going to happen with your job?
Oh, my company has been really sympathetic about the situation with my family and me. They told me that once I came back to Spain, I could get my old job back.
Oh, well, that's all right then. But I'm surprised, you know. I've always heard such great things about life in Bogacaibo.
The people and the weather are great, but the country's a lot more unstable than when my wife lived there as a kid. The economy is getting worse and worse, and the crime situation is terrible. People get robbed all the time.
Well, the economy has hardly got any better here since you left, I can tell you that.
I know, but it's great to be back anyway. I really missed Spain.
¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. More information about Weekend Town over at grupovon.com/cursos destacados. Also, a quick reminder, if you're not following us on social media, do that as well. This way you'll know about upcoming events like our trivia night, with the one and only Richard Vaughn, my amigos. I'm going to be there with bells on. I think most of us will. If you could make it, it would be great to see you. All right, well, listen, a nice shout out to my amiga Claire, who was the female voice in that audio clip. And Claire is just an amazing person. She lives in Berlin with her husband, Omar, which, by the way, this coming Friday, we're going to Berlin. What do you mean we're going to Berlin? Well, I already told you. In FYI, we're visiting one of my favorite cities, one of the most unique cities I've ever been to, Berlin in Deutschland, in Germany. So we'll be going there. It's going to be a fun trip. And the good thing is, if you close your eyes, hey, maybe for a moment, you'll believe that you're there. Well, either way, folks, lots of cool stuff here today on the show. Let's kick off with our pop quiz. Hopefully you heard in that audio. It took me a couple seconds. It took me at least like 5 sentences or 5 sentences or so to realize that was me. I think I had such a cold. Vaya catarrazo. Did you hear? I was like, and then John's going. I was like, oh my, I should have stayed. Young Alberto, you should have stayed home that day. I mean, you don't go to work when you're sick because then you're going to get everybody else sick. And I imagine Claire, who was in the studio with me, got sick as well. So not a good idea. This is future Alberto speaking to past Alberto. Bad idea, dude. If you don't feel well, I know you want to, be the good employee and all that, but then if you get everybody sick, that's not good either. All right, amigo. So here's what I want from you from our audio in Conversaciones en Inglés. The first one, I want you to tell me, ¿a quién te pareces? So, me parezco a tal persona físicamente. Okay? That's number one. So, tú, Chris, Born to Iron Man, Turani, Laura, ¿a quién te pareces? So, I'm asking you this question. Okay? ¿A quién te pareces físicamente? Okay, that's number one. Answer it for real. No, contéstalo de verdad. ¿A quién te pareces físicamente? Okay, number two. ¿A quién se parece tu madre? Porque quiero tercera persona. ¿A quién se parece tu madre? O cualquier tercera persona. Puede ser tu hermana. Tú invéntatelo. Quiero que sea he, she o it. Okay? So, ¿a quién se parece? Yo voy a decir mi madre en forma de ser. Okay, personalidad. Los rasgos de personalidad ahora. La palabra rasgos en inglés es traits. You can say characteristics, pero mucho más al grano, traits. T-R-A-I-T-S. Okay, and the last one, there's a phrasal verb that we use that's te pareces a tal persona o eres como tal persona. Lo bueno de la tercera es no especifica si estamos hablando de personalidad o físico. Los otros dos quiero que especifiquemos, ¿ok? Y lo vamos a repasar todo because sometimes this can be a bit confusing. But don't worry, we'll take a look at it. So by the end of today's pop quiz, you'll have it down pat. Lo tendrás a la perfección, amigos. So, number one, in today's pop quiz, ¿a quién te pareces? I'm asking you, pero no te lo voy a hacer en inglés porque quiero que tú me pongas la estructura. ¿A quién te pareces físicamente? Cuéntamelo. Number two, tu hermana, tu madre, tu padre. ¿A quién se parece en forma de ser? Okay, and the third one, esta usa si quieres la persona, el ejemplo que quieras. Okay, this is free range over here. I want you to use the phrasal verb for parecerse. Y lo bueno, que este es el comodín. This is the wild card. It works for both of them. All right? So there you go, my amigos. Let's go on over to our chat room. I see we've got a lot of students with us. Hello. Hello, 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 show with no namers. Let's see who's in the house today. We've got Turani. Turani says, good morning, show with no namers. Good morning to you, Turani. It's wonderful to have you on board. Oh, and Turani, I know you wrote to me. It was very kind, by the way. Well, every time. Let me tell you guys something. Disclaimer here. You guys sometimes write me an email or you write to me on Instagram or see what happens? I get confused and I'm like, I got to answer that person, but then I don't know where and I get all confused. So I apologize. I'm not really good at answering stuff on social media. In my community, I'm on top of it, but I just can't keep up. But Turani, I will find your comment one day here's Turani. I just don't remember where, but Turani, great. Thank you. Very, very awesome email or Instagram message that you sent me. Very heartfelt, and thank you, Turani, for being an excellent student. You've got the right attitude. Speaking of people with the right attitude, there's Born to Iron Man. He's a champion among champions. What's up, buddy? Welcome aboard. I know you are frothing at the mouth. Con ganas, ¿no? Como te está saliendo. You're salivating in hopes of getting to our spelling bee. Am I right? I know you. There's Laura. Lovely. Magical. Laura. And Laura says, good morning, lovely show with no namers. I won't be able to stick around today. Oh, no. Don't tell us that. Oh, no. What are we going to do? Seriously. All right. The show must go on, but we are going to miss you. She says, I won't be able to stick around today, but I wanted to pop in to say hello and wish you all a wonderful day. Look at that. Stick around, which you better know. And to pop in, pasarme rapidito. Excellent. Turani says, we'll miss you, Laura. Have a lovely and magical day. No doubt about it. Born to Iron Man says, it's jasmine, isn't it? I love its fragrance. Born to Iron Man, you know your gardens, huh? You know your plants. Good job, buddy. Give bien, eh? Now, those of you who are not with us in the live stream, I need to explain. Si no vais a decir, ¿qué? ¿Por qué estáis hablando de jazmín? Que en inglés se dice jasmine. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Esa es jazmín, ¿no? Aladdin? Jasmine? ¿Me estoy liando o qué? Well, jasmine, the flower, I held it up to the camera. Lo puse en la cámara. And then I sniffed it, and then I put it back in the camera, and Born to Iron Man knew what flower it was. Well, guys, I have a jasmine tree, and it's right outside of my office. In the office/studio, mi oficina/studio. And, well, basically, when the jasmine flowers fall off the tree, I have potpourri. Look at that. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. O sea, it's my air freshener. It's mi ambientador. And yeah, what an amazing, I mean, I could literally put it in front of my nose all day. I love the smell of jasmine, fresh jasmine. So, yeah, natural air freshener. You know your stuff, buddy. Sabes de lo que hablas. There's Chris Valrol. Speaking of people who know their stuff, también se puede decir, you know your shit. Evidentemente es vulgar, pero vamos, you guys know your shit. Chris says, morning, dear show with no namers. Another great day with you. Although we'll miss Laura, no doubt about it. Folks, We've got to go to a quick commercial break right now. We have zipped through the first part of the show. We'll be right back with part 2. So, stick around. Welcome back, show with no namers. Welcome back. It's great to have you with us here, learning, laughing, having some fun. Just a quick reminder, my amigos. What was I going to say? Oh, I know. Question of the week. Nobody has participated yet, but it's still early. You have until Thursday evening if you'd like to participate in our weekly speaking section, a section where you have a voice. Show with no namers, I want to know what impresses you the most this week. If you'd like to participate, send me a 1 minute, around a minute. Let's use that as a guide. Around 1 minute, introduce yourself and tell me what impresses you the most. Do it before Thursday evening, and we'll be able to hear from you here on the show with no name. And thank you. Thanks to all of you who have participated week after week, month after month. I don't know if have we been doing it for a year? No, I don't think so. Not yet. I think maybe we've done how many? I think we started in January, if I'm not mistaken. So also, here's another thing. I didn't mention this to you guys, or maybe I have in the past, but if not, if you have any ideas for good questions of the week, questions that you think would be good to ask your fellow students, let me know. Let me know. I'm always open to suggestions, amigos. All right. Well, before we get going and take a look at your answers in our pop quiz, let's check out today's Say What soundbite. Say what? What? Come on, say what soundbite on the show with no name. Say what soundbite on the show with no name. All right, as always, amigos, you're going to hear this a total of 4 times. Well, 5 if you include the reveal. And this is, I think going to be on the harder side of things. Un poco más chungo, un poco más difícil. But I urge you all to participate because it's the only way to improve your listening and also being able to summarize things. That's another thing we work on in this section. So here it is, your Say What soundbite for the first time.
But anyway, and I didn't, at home, I used to get in trouble. There was 8 kids in the family. I couldn't read, I couldn't write. Like my older sisters. I have 4 older sisters on top of it. To be blessed with that, and and a couple more, behind me.
All right. The good thing there is there are a lot of knows in there. I don't want the knows. You don't have to give me the knows, but just so you know, that's a pet word. Eso es una muletilla. Know what I mean? Me sigue, lo mismo que decir. Acabo de decirlo, sin querer. Entre los dos knows, acabo de decir un que no era intencionado. That's how much we say the thing. All right. Here's your Say What soundbite for the second time. I look forward to hearing your observations.
But anyway, and I didn't, at home, I used to get in trouble. There was 8 kids in the family. I couldn't read, I couldn't write. Like my older sisters. I have 4 older sisters on top of it. To be blessed with that. And a couple more, behind me.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto. Un momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace. Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así de gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit. Or you can come to the book fair. We'll be at Feria del Libro. I'll be there the 15th. That's Saturday the 15th at stand 346. And I'll be there from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. All right. Well, folks, we've already listened to our Say What soundbite twice. We're going to check your pop quiz answers, but let's warm up a little bit right now and see how you do on the warm up. All right. So I want you guys to translate these sentences with me. Okay? So, ¿te pareces a tu padre? Forma de ser. Perdona, personalidad. Físicamente. Miraremos el otro también. So, ¿te pareces a tu padre? Físicamente. Did you say you look like your father? If you said you look like your father, great job. Okay, now the other sentence. Te pareces a tu padre, forma de ser, en personalidad. Did you say you're like your father? Absolutely. So, write this down. You look like your father. Eso es físico. You are like, que se contrae, you're like. You're like your father es forma de ser. All right? Now let's look at the question of each one. So, ¿a quién te pareces? How would you say that one? ¿A quién te pareces? Who, no, porque ¿quién? Who do you look like? Físicamente. Who, o sea, empleamos lo mismo, look like. Who do you look like? La respuesta, I look like my father. Okay, who are you like? Es la pregunta entonces que te trae a I'm like tal persona. Okay, so to look like versus to be like. And I think it makes sense. Look is físico. And to be is ser o estar. All right? Let's try another one. Now that we've cleared it up, maybe it'll make it a little bit easier as we warm up. ¿Qué aspecto físico tiene él? ¿Cómo es físicamente? Él. ¿Cómo es él físicamente? Did you say, what does he look like? Y fijaos, no digo does he, sino does he. What does he look like? Does he? Does he is does he. ¿Por qué? Porque me cuesta la vida hacer esa H. Does he look like? No, que no, así hasta incómodo hacerlo. So what does he look like? Does he? What does he look like? Okay. What is he like? Para coger la pregunta otra vez. Estamos mirando personalidad físico. What does he look like? What is he like? Is he? Otra vez me como la H. Right? En ambos casos. What does he look like? What is he like? Or what's he like? What's he like? Right? Now here's another one. Let's see how you do with this one. Pareces cansado. Pareces cansado. Did you say you look like tired? Nope. You look tired. So that's a common mistake as well, right? People say, oh, it tastes like weird. No, it tastes adjetivo. It tastes like sustantivo, porque eso ya es una comparación. So this tastes great. Sabe genial. Y esto lo empleamos a los sentidos. It smells great. It tastes great. It looks great. It smells like roses or jasmine. It looks like another plant. It tastes like, well, I wouldn't be eating plants unless they're herbs. Okay? And then we just looked at to look like, to taste like, to smell like, to feel like. También todos siguen el mismo patrón aquí. How would you say, me parece interesante, pero no quiero especificar? No quiero decir, me parece interesante al oírlo o al verlo. Quiero decir en general. It seems interesting. It seems. So cuando no sabes cuál, quédate con seems, right? All right, amigos, now that we've warmed up, I think you got the hang of it. Let's take a look at our students over here. Laura she's popping in, but she's got time to participate. I love it. She says, I look like my father. Muy bien, me parezco a mi padre físicamente. I look like my father. Number 2, my daughter takes after her dad. Great. That's what I was looking for the third one, but it's correct. If we look at the ones we just looked at, then another way to say it would be, my daughter is like her dad. So you can put takes after or is like. No, tienes las dos opciones ahí. And then she uses the idiomatic expression, The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. No doubt about it. A chip off the old block. ¿Te sabes esa? De tal palo tal astilla. In English, think of a sculptor. There's a big block of marble, de mármol. And a chip es un trozo de ello, una pieza que se rompe. A chip off the old block. Same idea. You use wood, we use, stone. But the idea is exactly the same there. Let's see. Turani says, no need to answer. It was just to tell you my thoughts. Well, Turani, I just want to say I really appreciate you taking the time to write to me, and I did read it, and I will. It's the typical thing, Turani, when I'm sitting by the pool in July, and I'm like, oh, let me see if I have any messages I should answer. And the reason why is not because I don't want to answer messages, but since I spend a lot of time in front of screens, in the digital world, if you will, the moment I am not sitting in front of a screen, I don't want to be anywhere near a screen, not even my phone. Okay, I'll listen to a podcast, but I like to do gardening. I like, I don't know. I'm trying to get my screen time down, and for work and for, not just this, but for producing FYI, I get much more screen time than I would really, really want or think is healthy. So anytime I'm not around a screen, I try not to be around a screen. I know many of you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you feel my pain. All right, Turani. Turani says, I look like my older brother. We have the same eyes. Great job, Turani. I look like físicamente. The next one. My mother, it takes after it. Bueno, se te ha colado, creo, una I ahí. My mother takes after my grandmother. She has the same character. Interesting, guys. The same as Laura. You use the phrasal verb for the second one. So nadie está cómodo con usar el to be like, que es el más fácil. Right? So, but that's fine. To take after, como acabamos de decir, sirve para ambos. So my mother takes after my grandmother. She has the same character. All right. And the last one, my middle brother isn't alike us. 1 second. Isn't like us, or because alike we use we aren't alike. You see, you don't put anything after the alike. So I'm not like you. We aren't alike. ¿Ves? El uso de alike es un poco diferente. But it's wonderful that you use that, Turani, because it's good to review all kinds of concepts like that. That's exactly why we're looking at this. So great job over there. I see you guys love to take after. It's a popular one, huh? Just be careful. I've had students mix it up and say, I look after my father. Possibly, but it means something different. If you take after your father, you're like him, or your mother, or whoever, right? If you look after somebody, it's the same as take care of, cuidar de. So careful with look after versus take after. To look after, cuidar. To take after, ser como. All right, I've seen students mix them up naturally. I can see how people would mix those up. All right, guys. Well, great job so far. Let's see. Chris Valrol. She says, who do you look like? Qué bueno. Ha puesto las preguntas también. Chris, going the extra mile. Dando más de lo que se espera de ti. She says, who do you look like? I look like my mother. Great. Who does your mother take after? She looks like her mother and takes after her father. Wonderful. Now, again, nobody likes to use to be like. Qué raro. Nobody has used that one yet. You've all used the phrasal verb, but nobody has used I'm like somebody or somebody's like me, which is crazy. That's, again, take after is correct, But to be like would be like the non-phrasal verb standard way to say it. All right. The thing is, what I don't want you to do is mix them up. And that's what happens. People say, who are you look like? And I'm like, wait. Ahí hemos preguntado demasiadas cosas. Queremos conquistar el mundo. Y eso sí que se puede hacer, pero usando entonces, who do you take after? Que veo que esa la controláis. Que muy bien, by the way. Wonderful. Born to Iron Man says, it's said that I look like my brother, but I don't wear any kind of beard. Careful there. I wouldn't say to wear. I don't have a beard. Yeah, wear. Nosotros, ese wear es más llevar puesto. So, or un anillo, algo así. So, it's said that I look like my brother, but I don't have any kind of beard. So, then the second one, my lovely daughter takes after me, extroverted, relentless, and finally, my daughter and son aren't alike. All right? Nice job, amigos. Wonderful, wonderful job in today's pop quiz. If you didn't take notes, do it now. Let's review it really quickly, okay? What do you look like? I have brown hair. I have greenish, bluish eyes. I have average height, medium build, constitución, right? These are things you should know how to describe yourself. And be careful because you don't answer the question. If I ask you, what do you look like? No empiezas, I look like. Porque ahí estás haciendo una comparación. Describes. So what do you look like? Ahora, si te cambian el what por el who, ahora sí que I look like. Porque ahí dicen, ¿a quién te pareces? Ahí sí que es comparación, así que empleamos el like. All right? So, what do you look like? That's physical. I have brown hair, blah, 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 blah. What are you like? I'm outgoing. I'm organized. Well, more than ever. I've never been so organized. Let's see. I'm an easygoing guy. No mucho me molesta. And that's me in a nutshell. So what am I like? What are you like? Es la pregunta. And otra vez, si cambiamos el what en esas dos preguntas a who, ¿a quién te pareces en forma de ser? ¿A quién te pareces físicamente? Again, wonderful job. All right, let's see. Born to Iron Man is participating in our Say What soundbite over here. And he says, I guess that we already know that the man, apparently a bit nervous, who we can listen to, mejor hear, or listen con tu, has many sisters, older and younger than him. Yeah, he's talking about his sisters, his siblings, que siblings puede ser hembra o macho, it can be both, siblings. We're going to take a look at all that stuff. Not this week. This week on FYI, we're going to Berlin. But the following weekend, it's a really special episode. They're all special in their own way. But the second to last, la penúltima, the second to last episode of FYI Season 6 is going to be on relationships. Really, really good episode. You're not going to want to miss it. And nobody told me yesterday. Does anybody know what the last episode of FYI Season 6 is going to be? I gave you a clue. I told you it's not aviation. It's another one of my passions. All right, let's see. Chris Valrol is also participating. She's participating in our Say What soundbite. Let's see what she heard. She says, I heard an American man. Absolutely. He talks about a situation he lived at home. Correct. because he mentions his sisters. It seems that galore a tutti plen. You used that word the other day. I'm curious, Chris. I was actually asking myself that yesterday. Where did you get that word? Ximena? No, Kyle. Maybe Chris. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know if maybe I have used it. I don't remember, but it's cool. I have never seen a Spanish person use the word galore. Se escribe galore, right? So she says, but I didn't get the gist of it. No pillé el hilo conductor, la idea principal. Maybe he is like some of them, possibly. Great job either way, my amigos. Wonderful job in this, the second part of today's show with No Name. But right now, we've got to take a quick commercial break because we're going into, I can't believe it, the second half of the show. Part 3 and Part 4 are up ahead. You're not going to want to miss them. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. We are here for Part 3. It's Part 3 of today's show with No Name. In this part of the show, we're going to kick off with some homophones. We're also going to listen to our Say What soundbite for the third time. We've got our spelling bee, we've got movies, music, double trouble, and so much more up ahead. Welcome back, folks. You don't want to miss this train. No way. All right, folks. We are back. We are back with so much to do here. Just a quick reminder to Book Fair, Feria del Libro 2024. You can stop by. You want a little trick? A little secret? A little insider tip? Sure. The weekends are awesome. A lot of people. It's lively. Hay vidilla. You know, more authors are signing. But midweek, it's a walk in the park, literally and figuratively. Pan comido. So stop by, even if you can't on the weekend, stop by midweek. Kike will be there to assist you with anything you may need. It's stand 346, and you can get a discount on all our Vaughn materials, 10% off. Oh, yeah. All right, folks, time for Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
All right. Welcome to Homophones here on the Show with No Name. And as always, this is where we look at words that are usually, this is the craziest part, the trickiest words, at least in my language, seem to be the one-syllable words. Las de una sílaba. Yeah. Bitch, beach, shit, sheet, ship, sheep, right? Those are the ones. Those are the ones where my students are like, oh, shit. I just said shit and I wanted to say sheet. So I've noticed that those are the ones we really need to work on, those nuances, esos matices. And as always, many of these words have much more than one meaning. Let's take a look at the words A to see if you're familiar with them, and then B to see if you know if they sound the same or not. The first word is cargo. Okay, you say carga. We say cargo. Okay. Si le añades es cargo, es una comida. All right. Si lo dices en español, ¿qué es eso? Es carga. No, es cargo. Carga o cargamento. Okay, if it's a noun. También es flete. It's a mode of transport. Mira, yo no sabía esa palabra. Flete. Okay, mandar algo en un flete. Mira, pues no lo sabía. Okay. También puede ser costos o costes de transporte. Okay. It can be fletar, transportar. ¿Ves? Mira, flete, fletar. New word for me over there. I didn't know that one at all. Okay. And it's also a type of train. A ver si lo ponen aquí. Yes. Tren de carga, tren de mercancías. Okay. So that is number one, the first word in our homophones section. The second word I want you to tell me, and then I want you to tell me if it sounds like the first word, is miedo o susto. Miedo o susto. Okay, that's your second word. So those are your homophones. Hopefully you guys will be able to figure them out. If not, no worries. We'll take a look at them in just a moment. The first word, as I said, flete, fletar, un tipo de... todo viene alrededor de cargar, cargamento, enviar. Okay, todo, la idea, vamos a decir, es esa. Okay, and the second word is miedo o susto. Those are your homophones. Good luck. Also, let me give you today's Say What soundbite. This guy with the big family here. I'm going to give it to you for the third time.
But anyway, and at home, I used to get in trouble. There was 8 kids in the family. I couldn't read. I couldn't write. Like my older sisters. I have 4 older sisters on top of it. To be blessed with that. And a couple more. Behind me.
Howdy, Richard Vaughn here, founder and host of Vaughn Radio. Meet my amazing team.
Hello there, this is Julia from the Let's Get Random show. Let's navigate life together, practicing our English.
Hi, this is Kyle Miller. I present the Drive Time Show every day at 6 o'clock on Vaughn Radio.
Hi, this is Jimena.
Y yo soy Nacho.
And you can listen to us every day on Test Your English.
A las 12:30.
At 12:30. Tune in.
This is Fitz from No Excuses. Let's get ready to rumble. Come rumble with me on No Excuses.
This is Chris with Frankly Speaking. The doors open every night at 7:30. Let's talk soon.
Hi, this is Dave Boyes from The Salad. Join us every day, live at 5.
Hey, it's Alberto Alonso from the show with no name. And don't forget about Rob, Andy, Ruby, and Tino.
Download our free app, Vaughan Radio or Vaughan Radio, and learn English with all of us on the go.
That's right, folks. I know many of you have our app, but don't forget, we've got so many amazing shows that you can get every day. And if you don't have the app, or the app is, you don't have space in your phone, you can always listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. But remember this, it's free. And as we say, if it's free, it's for me. All right. Oh, here comes that train. Oh, we gotta look at this before I lose my train of thought. We looked at that one recently. To lose, aunque perdemos un tren, you miss a train, you lose your train of thought. Right? Frase hecha. All right, let's see how you guys did in our homophones. Chris Valrol says, I learned. No tienes que poner ambas, pero me gusta. I like that you're showing off. ¿Quieres regular o irregular? Como soñar. I dreamed or I dreamt. Los dos valen. So I learned it from a movie, Whiskey Galore, a British comedy. I learned a lot from subtitles as well, even beautiful expressions I don't know how to use, like to gild the lily. Ooh, toma, that's a really good one. To gild the lily, to embellish, embellecer, unnecessarily, like something that's already perfection, to try and make it even better, unnecessarily so, right? So great word there, gild, great, not word, expression, to gild the lily. And hey, we're talking a lot about flowers today, right? We just looked at jasmine. Well, a lily is lirio or azucena. So, all right, let's see. Turani says, and aren't homophones. Born to Iron Man says they don't sound alike. Chris Valrol says they're not homophones as well. So it seems like I haven't fooled any of you, have I? All right, well, maybe I have. Let's hear the words. The first word is freight. It rhymes with 8. It rhymes with great. It rhymes with state. It rhymes with rate, right? Bait, everything. It's got a lot of, it doesn't rhyme with everything, but it's got a lot of words that it rhymes with. So the word is freight, okay? So you can call it a freight train, or we're going to ship it by freight. See, by freight sería en un flete, okay? Also, any Guns N' Roses fans in the house? I'm a huge GNR fan. They've got a song, and it's called Night Train. You know the song Night Train? So you know it's buenísima. In the first line of the song, he says, loaded like a freight train. Loaded like a freight train. Flying like an aeroplane. Do you get it? The reference there? Excuse me. So loaded, what does that mean? Cargado. But it's got to have a secondary meaning. It's drunk. Cargado, envenenado, inebriated. Man, you were loaded, borrachísimo. Loaded like a freight train. Flying like an aeroplane. And flying is por las nubes, volando, to be high, colocado. The song is about their drug and alcohol use. I'm on the night train. Bottoms up. Bottoms up is cheers, a ti. No, bottoms up is la parte de abajo arriba. Es un brindis. I'm on the night train, bottoms up. I'm on the night train. Fill my cup. I'm on the night train, ready to crash and burn. I never learn. I'm on the night train. I love this stuff. I can never get enough. This is a song. It's a love song to alcohol, to Jack Daniels. Hey, it wouldn't be the first time. Any Billy Joel fans in the house? I love Billy Joel. He's got a song called Captain Jack. Capitán Jack. ¿Sabes quién es Captain Jack? Well, let me give you the lyrics to the song. Captain Jack will get you high tonight. Just a little push is all you need. Jack Daniels. Captain Jack te va a colocar esta noche. Hey, I'm not laughing at alcoholism, but it's funny how many love songs there are towards alcohol. And speaking of Guns N' Roses and love songs, unconventional love songs, Mr. Brownstone, do you know what that's about? Oh, man. It's off the same album, Appetite for Destruction. All right, well, Brownstone is these beautiful homes in Manhattan. You know, estas casas en Manhattan que tienen literalmente piedras, están de un color como marrón. Googlea brownstone houses. Y dice, ese estilo, precioso. But also, think of a drug that, and I've never seen it, thankfully, live, but think of a drug that is a brown stone, una piedra, heroin. It's a love song to heroin, Mr. Brownstone. And again, all you have to do is, if you're like, no puede ser, listen to the lyrics. I used to do a little, but a little wouldn't do it, so the little got more and more. I just keep trying to get a little better, sin a little better than before. I used to do a little, but a little wouldn't do it, so the little got more and more. I used to do a little, but a little wouldn't do it. Ya no me servía. So a little got more and more. Not funny, but crazy when you realize what these songs are about. So, freight. And the second word is fright. So, nice job. Freight and fright. Freight and fright. And fright rhymes with bite, rhymes with right, rhymes with tight, right? So, I didn't fool any of you. Great job in today's homophone section. And now it's time for your spelling bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
Welcome to your spelling bee, my amigos. This is round one. Oy! Oy, 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 oy. That's what it sounds like to us. But it's funny, you'll never hear "ooey" in an American stadium. You'll hear "oh." Upset, disgusto, no, decepción, debería decir. Se expresa no con "uy", con el casi, sino que "oh", por los pelos. So a different sound. The whole stadium will make a different sound. I love those cultural things, those sounds, those gestures, those things that are totally native. All right, amigos, as always, this is the toughest section on our show every day, but hopefully you guys will be able to handle it. Is everybody ready? All right, here we go. This is round one of your spelling bee. Let's capitalize the first letter of every word. The first one is Free space STATE space STADIUM. The next one is ELLIS space PARK space STADIUM. The third one is CAPE space TOWN space STADIUM. The fourth one, LOFTUS space VERSFELD. The fifth one is NELSON space MANDELA space BAY. And the sixth one is SOCCER space CITY. ¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant!
Absolutely brilliant. If you want to prepare for your Oxford exam, you can do it over at Vaughan. More information if you follow us on social media or go to grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. You can also get materials at vaughantienda.com. And if you're in Madrid, take advantage of the book fair because you'll get 10% off. And that's pretty good. If you get 100 euros worth of materials, that's $10. $10 that you saved that you can put towards, save or put towards something else. All right, let's take a look at our spelling bee here. I went really fast, but it looks like Born to Iron Man and Chris Valrol, they had no fear. Not at all. Let's see if they got them right. The first one, Born to Iron Man, is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one's correct. The fourth one is correct. The fifth one is correct. And the sixth one is also correct. Wow, wow, and wow. Great job, Born to Iron Man. Also, Chris, let me take a quick look at yours. Yes, 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 and yes. Well, I'll tell you what, Chris and Born to Iron Man, sit back, relax. You deserve it. You can take this round off. Cógetelo libre. Rest. I'm going to put you on the bench. Los voy a poner en el banquillo because you've already done it. You scored your 2 goals. Well, 1 goal. All right, folks, here we go with round 2. The first one is FREE space STATE space STADIUM. The second one is ELLIS space PARK space STADIUM. The third one, CAPE space TOWN space STADIUM. The fourth one, LOFTUS space VERSFELD. The fifth, NELSON space MANDELA space B-A-Y. And the sixth one, S-O-C-C-E-R space C-I-T-Y. All right. Did anybody know what these words have in common? I'll give you a clue. Spain, South Africa. Well, when is it? When are there when is there one time in the history of the world where the word Spain and South Africa are in the same sentence? Outside of some political or diplomatic context. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was the 19th FIFA World Cup, and it took place in South Africa from June 11th to July 11th. And folks, I think we all know who won that World Cup. That was España. We were the champions of that World Cup for the first time in history. I'll never forget it. I'm sure many of you, even honestly, let's be honest here now. Those of you who are not into football, it's not your cup of tea. No es lo tuyo. Wasn't it an exciting time to see everybody in the streets and, excited and celebrating? I think so. And it was beautiful, glorious. And the runners-up, primer perdedor. Second place, se puede decir, the runner-up. Pero en este caso, primer perdedor, because they were really sore losers. You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Netherlands, Los Países Bajos. Do you remember that game? Do you remember how dirty they were playing? So there, thankfully, justice was served. Spain played a better game. Spain had a better tournament. And Spain didn't resort to recurrir a playing dirty. So, ole, as we say in the United States. Third place was Germany. Fourth place was Uruguay. And that was right in the middle of a golden era. I'm serious. I mean, right now, look at Carlos Alcaraz, right? Of course, we've got amazing basketball. I mean, we've got great athletes everywhere in Spain. But I remember from a certain period, it was just insane. Spain could not lose in soccer. Spain's basketball team was number 1 or number 2 at all times. You had Rafa Nadal, you have Fernando Alonso. I mean, obviously these guys are getting a little bit older now, but I'm talking about that period. It was amazing to be living here. I've got to say it as somebody who came from another country. I said, wow, Spain can do no wrong, at least as far as sports is concerned. And what a golden time to be alive and living here. I remember being on the Gran Via and celebrating it like it seemed like the celebration would never end. And of course, well, like everything, it's temporary. Even, well, the third part of the show is temporary. But the good news, we'll be right back with the fourth part. We've just got to take a quick commercial break, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. We're here for the fourth and final part of today's show. Don't forget, you got amazing shows all day long here on Vaughn Radio. Shows that will help you get hooked on English. To get hooked on learning. Because I think if you're a learner, if you're somebody who loves learning, it's not limited to languages, correct? I mean, that's the whole idea behind FYI. I love learning languages, but I love learning about all different things too. So You put those together and you get For Your English. We're going to Berlin this week, amigos. And last week, if you haven't listened to it, I gave you guys an exclusive here. But last week, we learned English in movies. And nobody's guessed. Can you guys guess? Can you guess what the last episode of season 6 is on? So I already told you, I said, we've got Berlin, we've got relationships, and then, how well do you know your English teacher? One of my passions, you all know, everybody knows it because I'm even annoying about it, aviation. But there's another one that I'm annoying about too. Just ask my wife. Poor thing. Look, aguanta. I'm like, oh yeah, and this and the other. She's like, All right, well, amigos, we've got a lot to do in this part of the show. So let's kick off with our double trouble. Yeah.
Double trouble,
Come on, baby, come on.
Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
All right, amigos. It's Double Trouble here on the show with no name. And today, it's a straight up, sin rodeos, a straight up double trouble here. So here we go. You have to use the same word twice, as you know. Le dije que huyera. Okay. Pero él es más viejo que Matusalén. So, le dije que huyera, rápido, que se pirara, ¿no? Rapidísimo, que se largara. Pero él es más viejo que Matusalén. Remember, you have to use the same word twice. Le dije que huyera, que saliera por patas, pero él es más viejo que Matusalén. You've got to use the same word twice in our double trouble. Also, we've got to listen to our Say What soundbite. This is the fourth and final listen. Good luck.
But anyway, and at home, I used to get in trouble. There was 8 kids in the family. I couldn't read, I couldn't write. Like my older sisters. I have 4 older sisters on top of it. To be blessed with that, and a couple more, behind me.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughan Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughan Town. Lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughan Town. All right, amigos, Vaughan Town. And remember, Vaughan Town just had a little cousin, and that cousin is called Weekend Town. You can get more information at grupovon.com/cursos destacados. You've also got a phone number, 911-385831. Again, 911-385831. 631, or you can just reach out via social media. All right, let's see how you guys are doing on our Double Trouble. Born to Iron Man says Carlos Sainz, Alberto Contador, Alejandro Valverde, balonmano, hockey, fútbol sala, ciclismo, badminton, campeones everywhere. No doubt about it. Yeah, the list was endless. As I said, we couldn't do any wrong, right? Everything we did was perfect, or not perfect. Lo hicimos sufriendo, as you know. Nos encanta esa parte. But we did it. We got to the finish line and held the trophy in so many different sports. I almost felt like, what the hell's in the water here? I'm sure a lot of people were scratching their heads and saying, Spain. I mean, we know you got a beautiful country. We know you got good food and good wine and beautiful beaches and blah, blah, blah. But we didn't know you guys were like, the greatest ever in every damn sport under the sun, and it felt like that. That's the way it felt, not just to us guys. As I said, I was an outsider coming to live here, and I'm like, this is insane. A golden era, and I knew it. That's what's beautiful when you have that epiphany, that realization. You're like, I got to enjoy this. I got to soak it up. Disfrutar cada segundo. All right, Chris Valrol, she's saying the last episode is on gardening. Well, Chris, that is a hobby of mine. Yes. I'm that guy who collects rainwater. Te lo juro, porque es mejor para mis plantas que el del grifo. I'm serious. My wife's like, you're such an old man. I have like all these containers out there, recipientes, and then not for my aloe vera or my spider plant. It doesn't matter, but it does matter for my carrots, my the stuff I'm going to eat, the edible stuff. And right now I've got some carrots, I've got some basil, I've got some tomatoes, I've also got some zucchini. Anybody getting hungry? Yeah, I love that. That's Chris. The only thing is there's already an FYI episode on gardening, so I didn't want to revisit gardening. All right, I'll give you guys another clue. If you like this particular topic, then you'll be very familiar with the companies, estas empresas, Intamin, B&M, Vacoma, RMC. Estoy pensando si hay alguno español. Mauer. Esa es alemán, pero bueno, se ve aquí en España. Okay. Those companies, if you're a geek in this subject, you'll know Vacoma, Intamin, B&M, Aerodynamics, Arrow como flecha. Anybody? Any of those companies ring a bell? Anybody? Well, that's the clue right there. That's my other. But Chris, you're onto it. It's aviation, it's gardening, and it's this. Those are my top three hobbies, the three things I love the most. All right, let's see. Chris is also taking a stab at our double trouble. She says, I told him to run away over the hills, but he's old as the hills. I'm going to give it to you because it's creative. And you're almost there, Chris. I mean, you're right there. So the expression is to run for the hills. Pírate, lárgate, rápido, y pitando. Now, it's interesting because there's an Iron Maiden song, Run to the Hills. So they say run to the hills. Let's see if I Google run for the hills. Run for the hills. Yeah, aquí viene run for the hills, which is weird because Iron Maiden, run, it's a great song. Run to the hills, run for your life. What an amazing song. Nothing it. Hey, it's hard to sing like Bruce Dickinson. He's got quite a vocal range. So to run for the hills. So that means huye, corre, to be extremely unwilling to be involved in something, to avoid it. No? So if you ask me to sit through a Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan movie. I'm going to run for the hills. No, me pido vampiro. I'm out of there. So interesting. The expression, maybe it's in British English because Iron Maiden says run to the hills in the song, but I would naturally say run for the hills, man. Lárgate, pírate. Esto no es, no te va a gustar esto. Usually it's if you're trying to avoid something, evitar algo. And the expression to be as old as the hills, estás más viejo que las colinas. It's a great one. So I told him to run for the hills, but he's as old as the hills. Born to Iron Man says, yes, AA, Run to the Hills by Iron Maiden. That's right. And also Born to Iron Man, I told him to run away for the hills. Yeah, ves, ahí estamos. Como es frase hecha, I told him run for the hills. Right? And, but he's as old as the hills. Muy bien. La segunda parte, veo que sí. All right. Excellent job there. And also, Chris says, Over the Hills and Far Away by Gary Moore. Awesome stuff, guys. We're always learning from music and movies. Name that movie. All right, folks, here's Name That Movie. Here's your synopsis. Let's see if you guys can figure out the movie. Set up and wrongfully accused, two best friends are sent to prison for a crime they didn't commit. However, no prison cell can keep them locked in a cage. You know that sound. I hope you don't. De hecho, una forma de decir la cárcel is the slammer. ¿Por qué? Portazo, right? The slammer. You hear that prison door close. Man, that's not a good thing, I can imagine. So, set up. If somebody sets you up, they frame you. They make you look guilty. Tender una trampa, hacer una encerrona. Okay? So, it's another way of saying to frame someone, which we've looked at here on the show from the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So set up es lo mismo que framed. Set up and wrongfully accused. Evidente que injustamente, equivocadamente acusados. Two best friends are sent to prison for a crime they didn't commit. Por un crimen que no hicieron, un delito que no hicieron. However, sin embargo, no prison cell can keep them locked in a cage. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner. Chris Valrol got it. The movie is called Stir Crazy. And you know this? I don't know, in Spanish. Aquí pone loco, pero no es. Okay, te explico el stir crazy, porque a veces se queda corto el word reference here. Stir crazy means you're going bored. You're going crazy because you're so bored. You're restless. So, stir, to stir is moverse, removerse. So if you're going stir crazy, estás inquieto. All right, so es volverse loco, no es solo loco, es loco de estar inquieto, aburrido, como que, man, I've been sick for 2 weeks. I'm going stir crazy. Okay, to go stir crazy. Excellent. To stir is a great word too, because it's a false friend. We don't say remove the soup. Remove es quítalo. Stir the soup. Remueve la sopa. En inglés, loco, en español, perdona, Chris nos dice, locos de remate. We call it stir crazy. Y sabiendo eso, sabemos que esa expresión, esas dos palabras, that collocation means me estoy volviendo loco, me tengo que mover, right? Estoy inquieto, ese loco. The movie is awesome because it stars none other than Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. And these two guys, honestly, what a duo. You have another one, no me chilles que no te oigo, o algo así, right? We call it hear no evil, speak no evil. What a duo. Oh, man. Yeah, I love these guys. All right, let's take a look at the scene over here. Harry Monroe says, I'm a clown, see? Soy payaso, ¿ves? I shoot the firecrackers and the soda water. Disparo los petardos. So fireworks, fuegos artificiales, firecrackers, petardos, and the soda water, agua con gas. Okay? There's a little car that pulls up, un coche que se acerca, and there's supposed to be like 10 midgets in it. 10 midgets, 10 enanos. They all get out. Todos se salen. And then Blade says, that ain't no rodeo, clown. Eso no es un payaso de rodeo, right? De hecho, la expresión me recuerda la expresión, this ain't my first rodeo. This ain't my first rodeo. Tengo bastante. No es mi primera vez. Okay? So that ain't no rodeo, clown. A rodeo clown is the most dangerous job in the world. He's the one that gets closest to the bull. He gets the best of the bull, ¿no? Él enfada, él sonsaca, él aprovecha, ¿no? To get the best of. Remember, we talked about that. Es dominarle, ganarle. He gets the best of the bull. Hook to the left. Engancho, moverse a la izquierda. Hook to the side. If the bull rider is in danger, he's got to protect him. Even if it means getting his ribs pulled out. Que les sacan las costillas. And being freight trained. We know that word. Freight train. We looked at it before. Freight. Cargo. Carga, you say. And then Harry says, freight trained? He goes, that's right. Run over. Atropellado. Just like a freight train. Only with a bull. It's worse. Because a freight train don't back up and finish the job. Sería doesn't, pero son del sur. So a freight train don't back up, no va al revés y termina el trabajo. Later on, más tarde, I'll show you the proper way to lie on the stretcher when they come to pick you up. And the stretcher no es un sitio donde te estiras. Bueno, te puedes estirar, pero the stretcher is la camita, ¿no? Los que llevan al fútbol, al campo, los que son ¿no? Llevan así en la mano. Those are stretchers. Son muy común en verlos en batalla, cosas así también. All right, there's your movie. It's stir crazy, amigos. Let's see who's celebrating a birthday in famous birthday trivia.
Birthdays for you. Birthdays for me. Birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Birthdays for him. Birthdays for her. Birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It's today's famous birthdays. Our first birthday boy was born today in 1952. And best known as being a member of the band 38 Special. And 38 Special, which was around from 1974 to 2013. I remember listening to them in the 80s. He is the middle of three sons. His older brother, Ronnie, was the original lead singer of Lynyrd Skynyrd. Now, his brother Ronnie died in the 1977 plane crash in Mississippi. And his younger brother Johnny's been the lead singer since 1987. So this guy's got music in his blood. 38 Special, Lynyrd Skynyrd. You know Lynyrd Skynyrd, right? Lynyrd Skynyrd is Sweet Home Alabama, where the skies are so blue. Number two, we just talked about this guy. He was born in 1933. No hay nada más salvaje o nadie más salvaje, no lo digo yo, lo dice su apellido, And he was in the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. He played Willy Wonka. He was in Young Frankenstein. He did many movies with Richard Pryor, Silver Streak, Stir Crazy, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, and others. This guy, man, I think one of the funniest actors ever. He's like Eugene Levy, el padre de American Pie. Hay actores que entran en escenario and you're already laughing and they didn't even say anything. He's one of those, man. And he obviously can do serious stuff as well, more dramatic roles. And last but not least, this guy was not an actor, but one of the greatest movies ever made was based on his life. He was a gangster, a mobster in the Lucchese crime family in New York City. You know, there are 5 crime families in New York City, Italian ones. And from 1955 until 1980. And then he was arrested on narcotics charges and he flipped. He became an informant for the FBI. And his life is documented in Goodfellas, Uno de los Nuestros. So Ray Liotta plays this guy. And they didn't change his name. His name is exactly the same in the movie as it is in real life. So this isn't Ray Liotta. This is the real gangster over here who's celebrating a birthday today. Chris Valrol says, is the last episode of FYI about freight trains? No, I love trains, but it's not about trains. It's about roller coaster of love. Roller coasters, montañas rusas. I know you know that. That's one of my other passions, you know. When I go to Parque de Atracciones, you know, and the guy's like, you've been on this ride 3 times. I'm like, yes, and I know it's unique in the world. And, you know, I say something like that. I'm like, oh, and this manufacturer, they look at me like, eres más friki que nosotros. I'm like, well, you know, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. So the last episode of FYI is going to be on coasters, as we call them, roller coasters. All right, let's see a nice round of applause for Chris Valrol. Happy birthday to Donnie Van Zant, Gene Wilder, and Henry Hill. And we already looked at the word hill in our Double Trouble. To be as old as the hills, to run for the hills. Well, that's what Henry Hill did when the shit hit the fan. And he's talking about his childhood. You know, he had a rough childhood, he was saying. And he says, you know, at home, I used to get in trouble. Me metía en líos. There was 8 kids in the family. I couldn't read. I couldn't write. You know, like my older sisters. I had 4 older sisters on top of it, encima. You know, to be blessed with that, I think he was being sarcastic there. And a couple more behind me. So here he is, informant for the FBI, gangster turned informant, Henry Hill.
But, you know, but anyway, and I, you know, at home, I used to get in trouble. There was 8 kids in the family. I couldn't read. I couldn't write, you know, like my older sisters. I have 4 older sisters on top of it, you know, to be blessed with that, you know, and a couple more, you know, behind me.
All right, amigos, that applause is for you. Great job on today's show. And folks, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you the song because we don't have much time. It's Leonard Skinner, Tuesday's Gone. If you're listening to this, it's not gone yet, but what a great song to listen to at the end of a Tuesday. It's Leonard Skinner, Tuesday's Gone with the wind. My baby's gone with the wind. And it's interesting, we were just talking about trains before. The first line is, train rolls on down the line. You might know the song. Look up the lyrics and sing it with me, amigos, as we say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. As always, stay tuned. Jimena's up next with Test Your English.